Welcome to Cowgirl Up, the podcast dedicated to elevating your mindset. I'm your host, Lori Blickenstaff, certified mental performance coach at mentalgame101.com. Today's question is, what do I do if people around me have a negative mindset? Well, you're probably thinking about the statement I made about you being the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Well, sometimes you might have a partner or a spouse or a traveling buddy or maybe other, family members or friends who are negative. So today I've got 7 ideas on how you can go about handling this. Number 1 would be to make sure that it really is them and that you are not mind reading, like we talked about yesterday. Sometimes we feel expectations from people or we fear their disapproval, and it might not even be true. The second, and it's not always easy, but is to try honesty. For example, hey, that kind of feedback isn't really helpful right now. Or you could say, I'm working on something new here. Do you think you could try this with me? And then 3, if they're not responding, and if you have the option without breaking up your marriage, maybe find another partner. Just ask yourself if it's really worth it to stick with this person. Then number 4 would be, if all of the others fail, is just to try to limit your time with them, especially, right before you compete. So maybe just tell them, hey, I have to go back to the trailer. I've got this pregame routine I want to focus on, or some other way to just get some distance between you so that you can do some, positive dumping to overcome that negativity. And then number 5 would be to seek out like-minded people at events. Avoid hanging in a group that's, sitting around complaining or worrying about screwing up. And number 6 would be to overcompensate with the positive deposits into your bank account. So we talked about this before, about purposely making positive deposits to keep your balance up. So watch your highlight reel, do your visualization, do your champ talk, read your power statements, any of those type of strategies that will make those deposits for you. And then the last one is to just be an example. Begin to, verbalize and live out this new mindset that you're developing. And the longer you do this, the more that the negative Nellies around you, they'll just begin to kind of quiet down when they're in their presence. They kind of realize that their negative comments aren't jiving with your new vibe, because you are getting better every day in every way. And last but not least, be sure to listen next week for 5 correlations between God's Word on mindset and sports psychology principles. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, feedback, or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at lori@mentalgame101.com.